louder than ever. We've created a feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.
When you dream alone, it is just a dream. But when we dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality. And that is why, because we are dreaming together, and that is why we are together tonight. You who is seated there and us who are here, it is because it is a new reality. Thank you so very much for not touching the dial. Thank you very much for waiting for this program. Dear viewers, it is Crossviews on Royal TV. At this time, dear viewers, two topics to discuss on. The first, we shall be talking on the Unity Day, the day that we just celebrated a few days ago. It is popularly known as the 20th May. Looking at the 20th May, there are a lot that happened. Is it against the expectations of the people, or it met their expectations? So we shall be looking at the Unity Day celebration, that is 20th May, an overview and maybe the in-depth analysis we shall be giving, what will be the way forward. Secondly, we shall be looking at the situation where we talk of decentralization, something that was signed since in the 90s. Now it came to fusion some years back, and now it is a communique that came out that two ministries, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development, came together, headed by their ministers, to sign a reform to say that all collections that were done by councils in Cameroon, I mean all councils, will be done now by the central government. And so that is what we shall be looking at. What is your view about that? So amid effective decentralization, state takes over collection of council revenues. We want to have your views. Thank you so very much for being part of it. At this time, introducing the panelists, I want to say you are our number one panelist as you are seated there and watching us. We value you a lot. We want to introduce to you Jomo Cyril. He is a militant of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. You are welcome to Royal TV tonight.
Good evening, moderator. Good evening to viewers from the comfort of your home, from wherever you are following us. Accept greeting from the Cameroon Renaissance Movement of Professor Maurice Kamto, the political prisoners of the post-2018 presidential election, and those of October the 12th, 2025, who on Thursday are detained in the infested prison of Mr. Bia Paul. I equally want to greet the national chairman of the party, Maurice Kamto, the regional and the divisional chairperson of the MRC, and to you, peace-loving people of Boya. We just celebrated the 54th commemoration of what is called the National Unity Day, and I'm just asking myself, the 1st of October and the 11th of February, what does it represent to Cameroonian? Because if there was a day to commemorate, it's between these 2 days. 20th May means absolutely nothing except to Madame Chantal Biya and her husband that have taken the country and are doing what they want.
But I think 20th May is for all of us.
To the layman,
It's for
to the
all
layman.
of us, not just to the
May, what does it
presidential
represent? They just pick a random day like that. You know, everything starts from 1972.
Okay, we shall be coming to that. Thank you so very much, Jomo Cyril. You are highly welcome to Crossviews today. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, also I want to another political guru who is in the house. He is Mr. Efokwa, or he is Efokwa John Mofoke. He is the SDF district chairman for Boya. You are highly welcome to this program today. I think this should be your second time, if I'm not forgetting. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much once more, Mr. Mambo, for inviting me here. Good evening, televiewers of Royal Television, and good evening to my co-panelists who are here for this wonderful program. Mr. Mambo, I want to say kudos to you here in Boya, because you are helping the population to get awareness on events that concerns the nation. So it's a pleasure once more being with you. Thank you.
Of course, it should be a pleasure, because if you are out there and you are not participating in nation building, I'm sorry to say then something is wrong with you. And so that is why these gentlemen are here to participate in nation building, to give their own contribution to make sure that Cameroon goes on well. At this time, dear viewers, let us also welcome in our midst, we have with us Chair. You are highly welcome to this program today.
Thank you very much, Mula Mwambo, and good evening to all our viewers. It promises to be an interesting edition of the program we'll be having today. Considering all what has happened, be it the 20th May celebration or the law, is it? The decision from the ministers of local development and that of finance, talking about some new tax reforms which will probably be going into operation any moment from now, and which has been raising a lot of dust, and stakeholders from across the board have been giving opinions as to what benefit and what impact this would be to our communities. I hope through our discussions today we'll be able to throw light on these reforms from various perspectives, especially as we are joined by this SDF and the MRC, and why not educate our population and map out a way forward from what many look at as a dilemma.
Of course, especially as tonight we are joined by the, let me describe it as the heavy hammers of the MRC and the SDF tonight. I just pray God will give me the strength to handle this panel tonight. Dear friends, dear viewers, let us also welcome Obasi Humphrey. He is a socio-political. Welcome to the house.
Thank you, Mr. Mambo. It's a good thing, it's a great thing for me to be here again, especially with the SDF and our MRC opposition leaders, so as to discuss pertinent things that happened in our country. So thank you very much.
Of course, to discuss pertinent things, we shall be cross-viewing. Cross-viewing simply means that we'll have different angles, but at the end we'll come to one solution which will push Cameroon forward. Dear viewers, before we enter into the in-depth of the program, let us at this time get this report concerning the first topic. Then when we come back, we shall be taking the program Finance Minister Luis Paul Motaze and Decentralization Minister Georges Elanga Obam signed a joint ministerial order recently. It enforces Law Number 2024/020 of December 23, 2024 on local taxation. Minister Motaze says the 2026 budget marks a decisive stage in consolidation of effective transfer of fiscal revenue to local councils. He argues the reform will
Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters, and now we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality. To hear it louder than ever, we've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream.
Welcome back. That transition was very, very important, dear viewers. At this time, let us have the report for the first topic where we shall be discussing on the Unity Day celebration. Let us have this report. When we come back, then we continue. If the Unity Day parade is the main meal, then the sidelines are the spices. Away from the official salute, stories unfolded that show how 20th May lives in celebration homes, on the parade ground, and in tradition. Dr. Ogok Bisong Tui was amongst those decorated for service to the state through local development. Caught on camera dancing with family members, colleagues, and even the religious, in his residence with medals dancing on his chest. To Dr. Ogok, honor is not won, it is lived, and he attributed the medals to all, the state, and called for peace, unity, patriotism, and national cohesion. Now came the most talked about sideline, St. Joseph College Sase and its snail-style march path. While others quick marched, Sase crawled, deliberate, heads high, one foot, then a pause, then another. The grandstand first went silent, then criticized, saying, "This is not military to have a different march path style. There is a formal way to march." While others applauded, saying, "This is identity, this is arts." They have the audacity to be different. The college itself seemed to say, "I will not rush my pride." The crowd at the grandstand answered with cheers, phones up for posterity, images, even children mimicking. So we ask if there is a formal way to march. The army says yes. The people on 20th May said there is also a Sase way, and perhaps unity is wide enough for both. Somewhere else, in a symbolic moment, the Bakweri chiefs conferred on Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai with the title Mullah Eyole, meaning elder or man of peace. Draped in the Bakweri regalia of Sanja and white shirts, the governor was hailed as a bridge between administration. The chief said the title is not for power, but for responsibility to keep the peace that makes unity possible. In that courtyard, the Republic met the throne, and 20th May wore a crown, showing that perhaps the center is holding because the edges are strong. Welcome back, dear viewers. Thank you for being there. You have watched, you have listened. That is just a tip of the iceberg of what have so many points to discuss on the 20th May, and we cannot take all the reports concerning the 20th May, but we shall just be bringing the points that we want to discuss tonight. Let me begin with the journalists in the House. Chair, you were present, and I saw you taking notes. I saw you taking videos, photos, and every details. Now, what do you have to say about? Let us begin with Boya.
Right. It definitely was a very interesting celebration we had in Boya, like across the southwest region. From the images we could receive from the nooks and crannies, be it Mamfe, Konye, Mondemba, and you name it, we saw an impressive turnout of citizens and friends of Cameroon who all came out to give Cameroon that respect as we celebrated 20th May. But beneath this traditional march past, along the line, especially in Boya, there were some questions that that were inspired due to what we saw transpire. We had a SASEC issue at the Boya Independence Square, where the students were being blocked because of a march past they were putting up. They've been putting that up for quite some time now, and those in charge said that is not the proper way to march. I would want to begin by saying, I think on this same set, maybe last week, I had wondered aloud what this whole idea of march past really is about. I am of the school of thought that it is one colonial legacy that Cameroon has embraced, which does not so much define where we are going to. Mind you, my perspective is from an African traditionalist. I don't see the substance in the march past. I think that it undermines the integrity and the unity we are trying to preach, because we are looking at people on one hand, they come and install themselves on the grandstand, and we have the population. During the 11th February, we saw a scenario in Boya where youths, children were soaked in the rain while the authorities were well seated under shade. Is that what unity really means? So this is inspired by a colonial legacy where we had people marching for colonial masters to sit, and it was to give them a feeling of authority, that they were in charge of the colonies. The colonial masters have come and gone, yet this practice has remained. I think we need to reflect, what is National Day? How should it be celebrated? That aside, talking about SASE, as concerns march past today in our country, I think there is an order. While we advocate for changes, what we have has to be respected. Now, SASE has over the years been coming out with this march past. Authorities of secondary education, authorities of civic youth and civic education have warned them before the march past this year that they don't want that disorder. March past, there is a body that defines what that activity should look like, and it is the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education. If they have said this is the order that has to be implemented, then every institution has to take that order. And I should also use this platform to say that if letters were sent to SASE, and SASE went against the order that was established, and SASE is not punished, then the local authorities are setting a precedent where other establishments should disobey laid down rules for whatever reasons. And I think this is very important, because whether we agree or we don't agree, order begins from following instructions. I think that is very important. There is an order which institutions have been asked to match, and institutions should follow irrespective of their caliber. And sanctions, I insist on this, and if the powers that be don't give, and the sanctions should not be given in hidden. It should be given publicly. And if those sanctions are not given, then we'll take it for a joke.
Okay, then now let me just ask you, you just talked of disorder, and so there's supposed to be order. Let me just ask you the question, because there at the grandstand, you had people of two sides. Is there any formal way for a match pass?
There is a formal way for a match pass.
And that's the question, and that people want to know where it is maybe formally put somewhere that this is a formal way of match pass.
There is a formal way of the match pass. I began by stating that there's a custodian institution when it concerns match pass, youth match pass in this country, which is the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education. They are the ones how youths go around the day.
And that's what our viewers want to know, whether they have defined it somewhere that people should match.
Let me learn. The military match pass is catered for by defense.
Okay.
Right? But the Ministry of Youth, laws, it must not necessarily be signed in Parliament that this is how, but the custodian institution says this is how match pass is done. That is law.
Yes, and that's why because we are here to educate people. The question people ask there, and you know, at the grandstand you were there.
Right.
And they need to know that, okay, it has been put by the Ministry of Youth Affairs that when you are matching, this is how your hand should go, this is how your leg should go, this is how your...
Exactly. Mula Mwambo, you went to school.
Yes.
How were you matching?
We have so many situations where people match.
Mula Mwambo,
I
know you're the moderator, but okay, I should not ask.
I'm coming. Okay. If you look at a few years back, if you look at the way SDF was matching, that's not how they are matching today. If you look, yes, and there was no criticism about that. If you look at the way they were matching some other years, they will put their hands on their jaw, like showing that they are mourning because of the situation in Cameroon. And just wait, please. Let me explain. Then you come in. Okay. Like somebody asked at the grandstand, what about national anthem? When at times people put their hands on the chest breast, on the chest, sing national anthem. Some people put their hands up. Some people are just like that. So let us educate the people, and we should be factual.
Right. You know, the match pass, it has a solemnity, and it is that is why I call it twirling the scraps out in totality. It has a solemnity.
Okay.
It is not a dance. It is a match pass. There is a solemnity with it that it is used to pay homage to the nation.
Okay, so the majorette and the rest who were doing all the stuff they were doing,
they are not part of the block that has been constituted. Mind you, in the match pass block, before the schools are given the number of lines to make and how the block should be constituted. I think you should be very well aware of this. The schools, the way the block lines, they are given the way the number of people that are expected to match for maybe UB, for example, the numbers are communicated, and it will be misleading to compare an educational institution with a political party.
No, why misleading?
Why it would be misleading? Oh, come on. The basic framework of operation.
We are talking of match pass.
The basic framework of operation is different. Now, let me give you an example. Even during the match pass, there was this order that has been put up that political leaders should not interrupt or come down from the grandstand to come and...
Although we saw some
to come and
violated it,
of
like
course,
the CPDM, yes.
They are fond of that. Now, that order is mostly instituted for political parties because usually, during the school time, no principal would leave the stand and come down there. You will not even be permitted to do that. Okay,
I'll come back to you at this time, tell viewers it is really... Okay, let me get to you, Obasi. What do you have as far as that day is concerned?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mambo, for giving me this opportunity to talk again on Boya TV. Boya is a town, or how can I put it? It's a constituency. Yes, where everything, politically, culturally, activities are being played. Now, coming to the 20th May celebration, I would like try to, I'm not like correcting him, but I want to tell my brother chair something that March past in every nation, is like prayers when we do. And in the Bible, it tells you that every person has his own posture to pray. Whether you are standing, you are closing your eyes, you are kneeling down, anyhow you do it, but do it perfectly, you are communicating with God. And that is how March past also is being done. I'll take example in Yaoundé when the police, the officers, the officer of police, during the march as if they are dead people, but when other military officers, when they march so perfectly, but the only thing is there that when you are marching, you march so perfectly and the nation applauds you to that. So I take to that Sase had the best way of marching.
Okay, before you enter into other points that you have on the day, if you look at the national city, Yaoundé, you saw the military invited from Gabon. Their march past was, Chad, sorry, this year was Chad, not Gabia. You saw the way they marched. It was quite so serene. Now, if you go to, let me say, that is fun of the French-speaking area of Cameroon. Their march styles are just too fast. Pa, 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 pa.
Now,
so I struggle to go around to really get this thing. So what's your take about these differences?
Mr. Mambo,
Yes.
I'll still come back into the point that March past and other events, important national events, are like prayers. The way you pray it perfectly, the way it is well done. If you go to China, the way they parade in China is different. It differs from the way America and other nations they parade.
Okay.
If you go to France, you see the way they march. It differs from the way the Chad and the other nations they parade. Because it is a posture of their own prayer and the way they honor the nation. Like in Cameroon, here, we are the military and the rest of the civilians, they march as if they are going to war because Cameroon is a state of war and we are marching.
No, we can't say that.
I'm telling you, Mr. Mambo,
Cameroon is not a state of war.
let me
Please.
land.
Maybe you want to say something.
Mr.
Put it.
Mambo.
Cameroon is not a state of.
Okay, let me restate my statement.
Okay, yes.
Cameroon is a police state.
No, it's not even a police state. But just continue what you
now
want.
when you see the way the military and the civilians, the students, they march. You see that it's like their reference, their respect, the way they honor the flag and the nation. That is how it is. And also, I'm going to give reasons to my brother Chair because why the Sase in where they're doing like that is because they don't manage their time of where they march. You have the right to march. If like you're marching with your one eye, you can march. They manage the time that they're giving you to march. If, for example, to live at the court, to the mayor's office down to the stadium should be at least 1 minute, and so you have to manage it that way and you perfect.
Okay. Do you have any other thing as
No,
far
I
as
don't.
the
No, I don't.
Okay. Now let me come to Njomo Siri. You are of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, and that party too has been having so many other ways that they have been marching since the inception of that party. And given with what you saw all over, I don't know your take.
So the celebration for MRC nationwide was quite technical this year. We took at least 3 phases. The first phase, we organized a national public debate where we're training young people how to engage in political debate like this one. So at the eve of 20th May, we had a grand competition that saw some young people emerge as victorious. So in the days ahead, we will be looking at the Schumann TV panel and bring their contribution to nation building. Aside of that, we equally parade in some localities, especially in the littoral region and in the western region. Even here in the southwest, City of Le BLM, we did took part in the march past. Previously, years back, here in Boya, we marched, as you earlier mentioned, and there was a year when the Anglophone crisis was actually raging. I think that was surely 2017 or 2018, where in the course of marching, we did carry our hand on our head, and it went down history. And if you were to ask us why did we do that, it's clear we were mourning lives that were being wasted then and has not stopped up to now. Why did we not participate here in Boya and maybe in other parts? Well, 11 February we did participate, and for me, I think we are already known to some political parties. It is a demonstration of force, especially the CPDM, that used that day to bribe Soviet school students and police school from Mutengene students to give a kind of the denizens of Boya are actually part of the march past. I want to tell you, Mr. Moderator, that the entire southern part of Boya was observing what is popularly known as Ghost Town. It started some 3 days before, and the entire Moliko, which is the student neighborhood here in Boya, was completely quiet. So the few environment in Boya that we had population coming out was here in the northern part of Boya, Bongo Square, where the influx, for those who get up very early in the morning, we saw how people, big cars, this tanker were carrying students from Mutengene to come and march here. So it is a culture that we have already observed, and we don't want to be part of that rigmarole. But what actually interests us in the whole process is to remind Cameroonians that when you are young, you should take part, because participating is learning. Yeah, it has been instituted, we went through it, and we will not discourage others from experiencing it. The bitter part of it now is when you already know what will happen, and you become now, it becomes an economic source of income for you. I will explain myself. You saw us who went to the extent of making government who is supposed to be retired by now. His retired age has long passed. So in a way to corroborate with the dictatorial regime of Mr. Abia, they went ahead to...
Let me just ask you a question. You are a politician. Is there any retirement age in politics? Maybe appointments, political appointments?
Are you saying an administrative officer has now become a politician?
Because when I'm talking of appointments, that's why I political appointments.
Politics and administration, in their own.
Mr. Okala Bilai is an administrator.
Okay.
I'm saying that he has by far past the retired age, which is 60.
Okay.
Which is even 55 for administrators. Mr. Okala is more than 55, more than 60.
But not too long ago, the labor code it was extended that. Because normally it gives the
as I was saying, I wanted to pinpoint the element of traditional rulers, making him they say Mola what? Mola this. So Mola, which means man of peace, man of uncle peace, father of peace, translate word by word. So what am I trying to say here? That is people now who have swapped the intention of the activity, where they have reached a certain phase of their life where that is how they celebrate it. So it's already politically inclined. I understand that huge budgets are being voted for this activity. So they are looking for all...
Is this celebration, Mr.
Of course, I'm saying that when you are tender, you should participate to learn.
Yeah, okay.
But when you have reached a certain age, you should question yourself why you are participating.
Celebration is for all Cameroonians.
I'm telling you, neither did they respect the 1st of October, nor they did for the plebiscite of the 11th February. So, 20th May is just a day that was being put out of nowhere.
Okay, it's very short.
Another president comes up, he can change it without any justification to any Cameroonian.
Very short, because we had discussed on very short.
I want to talk about the traditional rulers who carry a title and
Yes, let me.
Why are you stopping me to talk about that particular one?
No.
Mr.
I
Mambo,
just wish to.
that
Please.
position-
I just wish to get something because we want to educate Cameroon. Now that we have 2 days of independence, which one or what will you prefer for a day to celebrate?
It's not me preferring. Let me
Because
get you
if
to
we criticize
1972.
a neutral day, given that we have 2 days, and so cannot
What do
celebrate
you
one.
say? Do you know a fraction of southern Cameroon is in Nigeria? Do you know there is a
They decided
the
to.
fraction? Yeah, they went to
The northern
Nigeria.
part.
Yes.
So what do you make of them?
The northern part.
No, they can't be part of it because they decided to
So
join
I'm trying to
Nigeria.
tell you, there is a culture of unity.
Okay.
So should it be? Let's start with 1972,
Yeah.
when the plebiscite was organized, and they said they asked the ballot paper was talking of yes or
No.
we or yes.
Mhm.
So somebody who was
We or
against
yes, yeah, that's-
had no possibility to change. That's not even the
Well,
problem.
that one has a lot of complications.
That's not even the problem.
Yes.
So after that, the two flag, Mr. Bia got up one day in 1984 and decided that he's changing the whole thing now to a unitary state. Who questioned him? Nobody. And today, they choose a day since 1972 and they have been commemorating on that very day.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you that any president who comes up can change that day and nobody will question him. First of all, we have reached a level where there's no more rule of law. Anybody does what he or she wants and nobody question them afterward. So, Mr. Moderator, a day like that one should help us to question the content.
Okay.
I've been talking about the structure. Now let's enter the content of what we are celebrating.
Okay.
Hate speech, tribalism is what is governing the country now. Now, it's been instrumentalized. Amongst us here on the platform, you might not feel the hate, you might not feel the tribalism.
Okay.
But if we were to vie in for a position of mayoral position or a parliamentarian position, you see people start questioning, but what is your name?
Okay.
Nobody will ask himself that, okay, for 5 years, you'll be mounting the panel here and educating Denison of Boya. Nobody will ask themselves, who are the domineering tribe here in Boya? There is a raging debate that is ongoing on the Francophone, and I want to tell you that as a country, we are talking of unity. Be careful, because what most people don't understand is that the emancipated part of the country is just preceding what the less emancipated part is going to follow. I'm talking emancipation in terms of exposure, because when you talk of Cameroon, out of Cameroon, most people think it's a Francophone country. They don't even know that faction. And the Anglophone faction will only take after what is everything that's happening in the Francophone region will precede, will take part. When you want to know how am I coming to that conclusion, see Anglophone that move to Yaoundé and Douala. See how they struggle to speak French. Even you meet your brother there that you come from Boya together, you are struggling to speak English. He's making as if English is something that will tarnish his image. So why am I saying that? I'm just trying to tell you that unity will have meant that nobody uses his internal frustration and hide behind tribal identity. You come here in Boya, all those cultural activities you see, they are almost making it a beaten mouth activity. Like, people kind of pride themselves and make it look as if you cannot speak the vernacular, you are an outcast. I have seen people use the language of come no go.
But when we
excuse me, we are talking about unity.
Yes.
You don't have the opportunity to give me time.
Yes,
to
I'll give you. That's why I'm still staying with you.
Okay.
Yes. What is there if you talk of, because the truth is all over people have been appreciating the people here, that they are very welcoming and they are named legendary hospitality. And now if you say maybe they've always used that hate speech against people, maybe our viewers
until you want to
be
vie in for office, don't mind. That's why I say that.
Because Mr.
He has
Mambo
been
is not from this
instrumentalized.
culture.
wait, let
Mr.
him
Mambo
land.
is not
Let
from
him
this
land.
culture.
Let him land.
It has been instrumentalized.
Yes.
You know, when elections are coming up,
Yes.
you want to prepare a list for municipal councillors
Yes.
that are going to vote for a mayor.
Mhm.
You, as the head of the list, you are the one who have high potential to become the mayor.
Yes, but
And
the
it's
law
a-
provides
let
that.
me come.
The law provides that.
And you don't get there because you are a son of the soil. You get there because you are competent to drive
the project
Yes.
for the
But I think the
community.
law say priority is given because it is practiced
nowhere,
everywhere. Priority
no,
is given. No, let's
So
let's
where's the
discuss this.
unity?
No, I'm coming to something.
Where is the unity?
Now, you can start debating on that side.
Good.
But if you say that because the law says priority is given to the indigenous of that area,
No
and it is practiced
no
everywhere.
part of the law.
Mr.
The
Mambo.
only
give me a
place,
speech,
the
Mr.
only
Mambo.
place,
Yes.
because we are talking about the 1996 constitution here,
Yes.
amended in 2004,
Mhm.
amended again, part of the amendment of 19, and the last amendment in 2024.
Mhm.
Everywhere in the amendment is only at the level of the city mayor
Okay.
that they give priority. They say that the city mayor must be an indigene, and the regional president of the regional council. Those are the two entities that they prioritize the indigene. But behold, I'm telling you that becoming mayor in France, in the US, as
They have been naturalized.
no,
Mr.
excuse
Mambo, I want
me,
to ask you a
excuse me.
question.
You go to
Mr.
Douala,
Mambo,
their
please,
entire
give me a
their
time.
entire neighborhoods
Yes.
that are owned by Chinese.
Okay.
Indigene of that place are not attacking Chinese.
Okay.
They are attacking
Mr.
people
Mambo,
from other
Mr.
tribes.
Mambo,
Blaming them,
I-
blaming them that they are dynamic.
I need to introduce the
And
last
Give
the
me
one.
30
question was
seconds
that
of the
where
comment.
is the unity until they are met?
Jot down your
Mr.
point, jot down your
Okala
point.
Bilai Mola
Okay,
Eyole.
peace. Okay, dear viewers, it is
Mr.
getting
Mambo, give me
to
30
no. What we do is, if you have to counter or send, you jot it down when I come to you, so that we should have order. Okay, now let me come to the chairman, SDF Electoral District of Boya, Efokwa John Mofoke. You are welcome to this panel again, and I want to say that SDF, it was, in fact, so many people opened their mouths at the grandstand. So many people were wondering, where are these people coming? I think it was close to 1,000 that marched on that day. What strategy? What reason? What are you up to?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mambo. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
But before I say anything, I want to let me address militants of the SDF in Boya.
Okay.
My dear militants of Boya Electoral District, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate you, to thank you for your coming out on the 20th May celebration, to exercise your civil rights. And at the same time, it is not just exercising civil rights, to show your resilience, your determination, and above all, the Republican spirit. I want to use this opportunity to thank you. As the chairman of Boya, once more, you are all congratulated for that event.
Okay.
Mr. Mambo, when we talk about the National Day,
Yes.
the theme of the National Day was military and the population.
Good.
And that is one thing that many does not understand.
Civilo-military relationship.
Absolutely. That we had to work together to make sure that peace reign within our country.
Yes.
Even though my brother here started saying that we're in a state of war. Yeah, but again, Mr. Mambo, take it or leave it. We are in a state of war. If you look at the issue of the southwest and northwest, the crisis, if you go to the far north, the northern region, you will see that there is the Boko Haram there. Here in the southwest and northwest, we have the sensationalists. Now, every country in this planet Earth had a unified day,
Okay.
which they call the National Day.
Okay.
Take it or leave it. If you go to your record, you will see every country in this planet Earth has a National Day.
Okay.
And that is why we of the SDF, we decide to come out again this year to celebrate this day.
Okay.
But again, we have our worries, because there are issues that we have been deliberating, telling Cameroonians, I mean the authorities that be.
And I think that those worries are very, very few now.
Yeah, we
compared
keep,
to- to
we,
the
keep
past.
on, we keep on telling them that we are in a state of war. We need dialogue, a sincere dialogue. We don't need a monologue dialogue.
Okay.
We need a dialogue where these people who have decided to take arm against the regime, against the state, they have their wallet.
Okay.
Let us go to the table and dialogue for us to have a sincere and living together.
I'll be coming to that. Let's look at that day. What's your take? Maybe before, during, and after the day.
Yeah, I think for me the day hasn't had any problem, as the way we may say.
Okay.
It is a people who decide to celebrate a day as a unified day.
Okay.
Even though the content, as my brother Sirinjomo earlier said today, it is the content which we take and implement that matters.
Okay, if I could ask you, SDF from inception in the 90s has had so many ways of marching. If you look at what is bringing argument, now even on social media, the march style of the Sase school, what's your take about that?
Let me, first of all, you talked about the SDF before you go to the Sase. The SDF has a format of marching.
Okay.
The march pass of the people who always raise our hand up.
Okay.
That has always been the SDF. Now, let me go to the Sase issue. I was at the grandstand in 2026, that's 11 February, when I witnessed the march past of the Sase students or the Sase administration, which has inculcated a kind of march past to their students.
Okay.
Now, they took much time, and that alone, immediately they passed because they took over 20 minutes. Because I was there, I timed it, they took over 20 minutes.
Okay.
Immediately they passed, the rain started. And on that rain, I saw children were collapsing. Now, what we are trying to say is that, irrespective of their style which they are bringing to show the public, but a national day like that one is not an event which you have organized.
Okay, let me ask a question many are asking. Does it not bring the beauty of the occasion out for people?
It's not all
because
about,
you saw the reaction of the populace. Does it not beautify the occasion?
No, it's not all about the beauty. Okay. We are talking about a march past, a national day. It is not, it wasn't their occasion which they had to come and parade and show how loyal, because if you look at their march past, signifies a lot of things. They show how loyal they are, how submissive they are, how sober they are. That is what it is. Okay. That is how, to me, I can analyze it. But again, I am saying that it will obstruct others. Like as I earlier said in 11 February, they took over 20 minutes, which they were supposed to take about 3 minutes to pass, and that would have enabled other schools to use that 15-20 minutes to pass. But again, we are seeing that
broadcaster, if we can have the march pass there, the Sase march pass on air,
we are saying that the institutions that manage these events should be able to culture all institutions.
How do you size up in one of the primary schools? You know, the leading pupil, much like a soldier. And when that child reached in front of the governor, he greeted the governor as a soldier. And that the population was like hailing him.
Yeah. It was good. It was quite good because I was at the tribune. Good. I was at the grand tribune.
Yes.
Now, what the young man portrayed, it was good. He did not take time to delay others that were coming behind.
Okay. The problem now is time.
That euphoria. We saw that as there was some kind of enthusiasm from the people, from the population that was at the grandstand.
While others,
the way he showed and right.
Then a pause, then another. The grandstand first went silent, then erupted. Some criticized, saying this is not the military to have a different march past style. There is a formal way to march, while others
not supposed to happen because of the bad governance.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to say those who wanted to call can do their calling now, and they can call now, and others too can also participate by text on WhatsApp. Okay, let's take this caller at this time. Hello.
Yes, hello. Good evening to the panelists.
Yes, please.
Moderator on board. My name is Leslie. I'm a civil society activist, and I'm happy to say that I was part of the March Past Committee.
Okay, good.
And I also took part in the preparatory meeting that was organized by the governor before the March Past. And firm instructions were given from the governor from the first day of the meeting that SASE should not march the way they did during the 11th February because they took a lot of time and not following the conventional way that is being put in place by the March Past Committee for students to follow. And that information went through to them. And I remember that during the March Past, I walked up to the administrators of SASE, informing them that they should note that they will be removed if they maintain the style of marching that they want to use. And the administrators were laughing. They were laughing. And we came down, us and the CIMI guys that were in charge coordinating the March Past, and the students were not following the instruction because their administrators were authorizing them to be able to do what the styles that they usually march, and that was a whole lot of problem.
Okay.
And that alone, I realized that the reason why the SASE school actually march was basically because we have some high-ranking officials that are ex-students of
let's
the
have
school.
SASE on air.
If not,
Yes,
they wouldn't
applauded,
have
saying
even
this
permitted them
is
to even march.
identity, this is
And
arts.
another
They
concern
have
that I want to
the
raise is the
audacity
aspect
to
of
be different.
indecency.
The college
You look at
itself
some of the
seemed to
students,
say,
you look at the
I
students that
will
were
not
even
rush
placed
my
ahead.
pride.
Those who
The
were
crowd
holding,
at
the guy
the
was putting on a
grandstand
complete,
answered
the trouser
with
was not even a
cheers,
complete
phones
trouser,
up for
and it
posterity.
was right at the bottom of his, it was not up to his waist level. And those are some of the concerns that we raised. Going back to the University of Boya, we had students who were marching with short skirts and complaining. You hear instructors saying that aspect of getting students to march was having students to march was the problem. And the question now is, should we as Cameroonians the civic values that we have to put in place and the moral attitude that we have to teach our children, because we want to be able to show the public that we have the population, we have the numbers to be able to march so that everything is going on well. And then another thing goes to the political party. The SDF marched with a complete wrong Cameroonian flag, and I remember stopping them from using the flag, and it was like I'm a politician stopping. I was just a patriotic Cameroonian trying to let them know that this flag is not a Cameroon flag. A Cameroon flag is green, red, blue. You look, the both sides has the same color. It's not showing whether it's stitched by a tailor, and the star is equal on the both sides. The flag the SDF used was having a single star on the one-sided, and that was a whole problem. Even the military guys said, this is political party, let's just leave them to do that so that they will not use it to create other aspects. So I just say,
my dear brother, okay, let me just give you some 10 seconds again. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
First of all, let me thank you so very much, and this is what we expect with the administration. At times, we don't have all. So when people are talking like this, we expect them to come up. I'm very happy with your information. Now we know that SASE had been informed and maybe formally. Now, this aspect of the flag you brought up and maybe some other inconveniences, is it possible for your delegation and maybe go around schools and parties and communities to educate them on some of these things?
I think before, when the school is, we have what we call civic and patriotic back to school.
Okay.
That we go to secondary schools, both secondary and primary schools, and even universities, to do sensitization on the national flag and the national anthem, where we teach them how to sing the national anthem on. There's a national anthem in its entirety, where you sing the second verse of it, the second of the national anthem, that we do the sensitization to that level. So I think that is already something that is being done, and that is also going to the level of institutions where other ministries that are not directly concerned with the aspect of civic education, we are doing that with those various ministries. And I think it's our responsibilities as Cameroonians to get to know our national symbols to get to understand that these are standards that have been put in place for order, not basically to please anybody, but just to put an order for people to be able to enjoy the event and have a memorial kind of an event and enjoy every aspect of it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Dear viewers, I had to give him that long time because at least what he was saying comes from source, and it was very important for us to get. And at this time, the next question I wish to ask about the unity day that we have. Okay, it's you.
I was the one talking.
Okay, just briefly before I get
now, Mr. Mambo, we talked about the decoration or the coronation of the governor by giving him a title and the chiefs of chief in Boya, or maybe I don't know, maybe the chief of chiefs in Boya.
The president of the chiefs conference.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, if it is the president, it means that it's the chief of chiefs. Now I want to say this: the symbol, to me, it is not a bad. It wasn't a bad intention, but I am coming to this medium today to say this thing because in 2018, when the Sonara got fired, when the national chairman of Blessed Memory Fundi came to Limbe, I was with him. He was invited by the paramount ruler of Limbe. When we got there, the paramount ruler gave him a symbolic key, which was a wooden key, and say, you are a man of integrity.
Yes.
You are a man that has created a lot of awareness in this country. Father, this is a key that at any given time you come to Limbe, you will not need to knock the door. You just need to open the gate and come in. I tell you the truth. That is why I'm saying it here now. The problem of Anglophones is Anglophones. Back when the people there in Limbe, my people there in Limbe, got up and riot against that wooden key that was being given to Frundi.
Well, you said the Bakuri people, but other people say no. It was some party people.
It was not party. It was some chiefs of Limbe. It was some chiefs of Limbe that they wanted to claim the key back from the chairman.
Okay.
Now, we are talking. We are talking, and this is what we always talked about. Our problem is within us.
Okay.
That was just a symbolic something to give to.
And thank God these problems are being solved gradually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the problem erupted in such a way that Fundi at one time said that if you want the key is in Bamenda, come and get it.
Okay.
Which they never did.
Okay.
But today we have awarded our governor, who is not even an Anglophone, inherited from the southwest or northwest, but is an administrator. He has been given a prestigious title. Well, I for one, I'm not against for that, but I am saying that as Anglophone, love ourselves, or as Cameroonians, we should learn to love ourselves.
Okay, let me come to you, Basi. You wanted to react on whatever you have to say again.
Now,
concerning this.
To Mr. Cyril, is that Cameroon is a beautiful state.
Yeah.
Now, let me start by saying that in 1983, when the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, was dividing the region, dividing the province, dividing in 10 regions, and gave each region its own constituency, and said, Southwest, you have 12. West, you have 22. Each region has at least a number of constituencies that they can go and compete. Now, if I go straight behind your name, you are called Mr. Njomo Simi.
No,
Which
that's
means
wait. No, wait. Please. That's not just give your point.
Mr.
Get
let me address this.
No, let me finish my point now. I'm not calling his name. Now, let me just say, for example, he's from the West, so he has to go to the West and go and contest for a position.
No, please.
Mr. Moderator, let me come in, please.
Yes.
You see, we are talking about Cameroon living together.
Good.
Irrespective of where you are, you find yourself as a Cameroonian. I think we should keep away hate speeches.
These are not his speech.
No,
the president has done.
I am
The
saying.
president has done this.
Gentlemen,
I am saying
no,
something.
no,
I'm saying-
gentlemen.
And the same law. Now let me tell you.
You have the electoral code with you.
The law talks of Mr. Sirinjomo. Not that because I'm talking. Maybe I'm at your favor, but I am talking based on how we live as an institution in this country.
Yes.
The law talks of. At section 1, at section 40 or so, talks about when a person lives in a community from the period of 6 months, he has the right to contest for any elective position. I am saying
no law.
So
Please let him land.
No,
Please. Okay, please. Dear viewers, I want to make something clear. The electoral code has everything there. And with what I know is that everybody has the right anywhere that you live. Please, excuse me. No, Obasi, we are educating Cameroonians here. Let's not be too emotional. Let's say the right thing. That is what the law says. Wherever you live, you have the right to go in
from
for
a period
any
of 6 months.
Yeah, you have for any position. And what I know is that it gives priority to indigenes to an extent. So please, wherever you are, whether you are what tribe in another area or land, you have the right to do that.
I was quoted on the platform. I should not just sit like a moment.
Okay, briefly, please.
The preamble of the Constitution, which is one of the most important documents of the land, give possibility for any Cameroonian to vie in, to feel free.
Wherever you find yourself.
Yes.
So once it's already on the preamble, it's only ignorance people will come and expose their ignorance. And sometimes they have sent them. Sometimes when you see them talking with too much emotion like that, don't think they know somebody's behind, pushing those kind of agenda. And it's not only happening on this platform. We have seen it in other francophone part of the country. And that is why we're questioning the contents of the national unity. We're asking ourselves that where are the sons of the soil when it comes to tilling the soil? I'm very happy to share the platform with the chairman, with the SDF chairman, because he shows that he does not only wait for electoral eve to start talking about politics. He is here every time to sensitize the people. So if by the electoral calendar they call for election and he comes out to call for people to vote for him, they will not ask him, they will ask him, where were you? That's what we are saying. Not only bash on somebody that he is not from this, and the people are with him. They see the sacrifice that he has been undergoing all the time, and you come at the last minute. This one that he just made here is just staging. I'm telling you that the real fight is within the party, where you have indigene who will tell you that, no, young man, bring your birth certificate, because they questioned me. I said that, okay, one of my name, my father is from this side, my mother is from this other side, so the name I carry is from my mother's side. What do I do? They say, young man, you have to go where the name of your mother is. I said, okay. So they will use all sorts of intimidation tactics to humiliate you, and if you are not strong, you might give up. It started, I started politics very early in 2016. We're already having this debate when I was popularly known in town as mayor. So it created panic in my party. So I'm just trying to say, if there's any other young person following us and is having that kind of problem, even in the University of Boya, there are people who cannot have promotion because they start questioning, where are you from? Where is your name? Why are you here?
Not even University of Boya, everywhere.
We must carry the Constitution with us and learn to live with people peacefully. Because you cannot also come in, people are welcoming you in their land, and you carry hate speech and try to propagate.
Okay, dear viewers, let me take even one text message here, then we get now to Xing. Xing, after that you shall have to give us your own contribution. You have been following what we've been talking. This one says, the recent National Day March Past incident in Boya revealed a profound civic crisis in our educational institutions. When SASE authorities permit style over standard protocol, and University of Boya instructors justify indecent dressing students by indecent dressing by students by claiming a shortage of grants. We see a blatant failure of institutional leadership, blaming a lack of students for lowering moral and civic standards is unacceptable. These lapses undermine the very essence of a national parade. To curb this growing indiscipline and lack of patriotism, Cameroon must urgently implement mandatory military civilian training at the secondary and university levels. This structured discipline will instill civic mindedness, respect for authority, and national pride in our youths before they enter the wider society. We must hold school administrators accountable, validating or encouraging uncivic behavior under the guise of expression or desperation tarnishes our national fabric. Thank you so very much, but you did not sign your... I just read it because it was very important and given to what one of the administrators from Youth Affairs called. Thank him so very much for those information that he gave us. Shing, you've been following all the subtopics we'll be discussing. You were following the celebration all over the nation. So what overview do you have?
Well, I think, first of all, the focus on SASE, or focus on the people who are marching there, is a distraction. I think the focus rather should be on just the fact that people came out and marched. I think that is the most important thing. Why was there a lot of hindrances? Because you saw the grandstand in Boya, everybody could not access it because there were blockages everywhere. There was a lot of disturbance of traffic in Boya. That is what we should rather focus on. Those students, when they decide to come and march, they should have the latitude to march the way they want. So I don't think that there is any the students of SASE march. That is, for me, that issues that concerns me that day. If the administrators are worried about that, they should stop SASE from marching. Administrators coming and complaining that students are not patriotic. Are they patriotic? People who are corrupt, people who are killing the nation, people who are looting our funds, they are complaining of patriotism. It's because here people do patriotism is window dressing in Cameroon. So when people are talking about patriotism, what is patriotism? Most of the people who are corrupt, who are promoting all the social ills that we find in the society are the people who are talking about patriotism. Patriotism is not putting on a shirt or dressing this way, coming to march. I just think that these students that marched, we should appreciate them, all of them. Whether the students came from whichever part of Boya to come and march or whichever part of Cameroon, the fact that they took that challenge to come and march. There are a lot of students who could not march because of insecurity and other challenges, especially in the northwest and the southwest. We know how 20th May was. So this was a day when everybody wants to show, to put on their best uniform, to polish their shoes, iron their uniform. Those are the memories that a lot of the young people that we have today cannot, will never have those memories. So these boys inside say, that is their time to shine. We should allow them to shine. So generally, I think that the major concern was about the issue of blockages and security, because the security there was too tight. And it was limited a lot of people.
It was for the good. It was for the good of those who came out to celebrate.
No, the situation, because the government keeps telling us that the security situation is that there is no security challenge. Why do they still show that? So
yes, they say the security under control.
Under control.
But you saw to that's the control they are talking of.
No, that is not control. How can everything be under control and freely? So I just think that the government, in a lot of ways, it really has to re-examine itself. I think that the controversy about the 20th May, now they call it 20th May because that was the day when history was turned on its head. Because Cameroon became Cameroon. How? Because there were two distinct countries that came together to form one country. I think that the day that should normally be our national day should be 1st October. That is when Cameroon became one. When the West Cameroon, when the Southern Cameroons joined with East Cameroon to make what we call today Cameroon. That is the day that we should normally celebrate as our national day. Those who are thinking that one Cameroon got independence in 1960 and another, no. We should focus which day brought all of us together. Because that referendum, there are a lot of controversies. So, and in the best, every country that has a national day, they must think of a day that has no controversy. And if we think of the day of reunification, October 1st, that will have the least controversy in Cameroon, because there will be nobody, there is nobody, because anybody who really loves Cameroon, a united Cameroon, would support that the day we should celebrate should be first. This day of 20th May, I think it's a political day, National Day, because if we want to call National Day, how are we portraying the National Day? Because a lot of the discussion here, we have seen that the issue or the idea of National Day is not even reflected. We are commemorating that day, but the idea of national unity is not reflected. Because here people are very easy to point out, well, Mwambo, where is this name from? Mwambo, where are you from? But if we are really talking about national unity, it should mean that no matter where you are from, your name should not matter with the opportunity you can have. That if you are a Cameroonian and you are in your country, this is the only country we have. Because if you even live here and go to Nigeria, you'll be a foreigner there.
Absolutely.
If you live here and go to any other country, this is the only country that we can live here and claim every right. And if we are limited, and some people are telling us that you have to go back to where you are coming from to contest for any position, I think that is a naivety that we really have to think here and say that this is a day that we are supposed to reflect. If we put any day that is a day of national unity or whatever, it means that is a day that all of us we are supposed to sit together and reflect and see how we can push Cameroon forward, because this country can only go forward if all of us we sit as Cameroonians as upon ourselves that national unity, whatever we are crying for, whatever we are working towards, we can only achieve this if all of us we put our efforts together. Yes, and about the chiefs, the Fako chiefs or the Boya chiefs, giving any title to the governor, I just think that is a continuation of what the chiefs in Cameroon, because the chiefs across all the 10 regions of Cameroon, they made Bia the chief of chief, the Lamido of Lamidos, the Fon of Fon, so he already has that title. So I just think that is a continuation that this chiefs of Boya would also think that they should make him the chief of chiefs in Boya, which for me to a very large extent is unfortunate, because these titles, if we are really to look, is this somebody who has been building peace, who has been working for peace? We'll see that to a very large extent is limited. This is a person who told chiefs that they should hold a on the 20th May. This is the same person who told people that go and change your dogs, who was referring to. So if you want to reflect, reflect and really see the weight of the name, I think that these are things that we should really reflect and rather be criticizing, looking at the decision of the chiefs. Is this somebody who merits this title? And for me, to a very large extent, I don't think that is somebody who merits the title.
And there are so many who say he merits it, given he has worked a lot for peace in the region.
Worked a lot for what peace? I'm just saying that these are the examples, because it's like somebody who is insulting. This is somebody who.
Okay, okay. Let me just ask you this question. Okay, let me just come. Yes. At this time, we'll take a round. Then after that, we'll go to the second topic. Let me, because as the celebration was ongoing, we got some, maybe we eavesdropped some discussions. Let me ask with your opinion. SASE for over the years have been marching the way they are marching. There are people who made the statement of, they are made up of people in government with connections. Most of these SASE people are big people nowadays. That's why it's so difficult. If it were one of the common private schools, this thing would have been solved long. What's your?
I think more, like I said earlier, I think it's more about an issue of mentality. I think that's it. Any school, as far as this day is concerned, whether it's 11 February, Youth Day, or 20th May, any school where the students there take the risks to come and march, there are a lot of officials in Boya whose children who don't allow their children to come and march.
Yes.
So any child who takes up that risk, any parent who allows the child, whether the child is schooling in SASE or any other school, and that child comes up, nobody should disturb that child. This is the only day that, because if I remember how we usually had 20 May, that was the day when everybody wanted to show they could iron their shirt. Don't SASE want to be noticed. They always march like that. This is not the first time, so we should not focus on dwelling about issues that are trivial. Those children from SASE, they marched. I enjoyed the march. When they were passing, people were grumbling, but people were clapping. People clapped when they were passing. So we should rather be focusing on discussing why administrators come late every national day or every celebration, every public celebration.
At least administrators came on time. The governor arrived. No. I looked at the time.
If you saw the program, they came late. So that is what we should focus on.
No, the program said activities were supposed to start at 10.
The students who were marching were concerned, I don't have the march started at 11 o'clock. The march past.
No. Wait. If they talk of events starting at 10, it is not the march past. The governor arrived minutes before 10.
Yes.
And he went to the ground. I think he has always been on time. Okay, please, your last word on this.
The point I'm making is that
yes,
these students, whoever marched and whatever style they decided to march, I don't find any problem with that. We could be talking about maybe students who were not properly dressed. We could address that one. That no, maybe they should really look detailedly into this issue. Yeah, of
indecency.
Everybody who has attended whether 11 February or 20th May at the Boyabongo Independence Square knows that this is how Sase. Each time they come to march, they always want to. They also want to bring up a new style. That is what we should already understand.
So to you, it beautifies the occasion.
Of course, it makes the occasion more interesting because come during those such occasions only because they want to see Sase, because they want to see how Sase matches. You see, even when people are grumbling, you still see them clapping.
Are you saying if they stop Sase, the grandstand will be empty?
Of course, there are people who will not come there because they know that every year Sase brings up a new style of marching.
Okay, what's your take with the fact that, especially with the caller from the administration, that Sase has been notified many times that march style is not permitted?
I think that the administration have better things to focus on.
No, I'm saying that
the point I'm making is that they are misplacing their priorities. They have different things to handle. They should focus on more important things. They should focus on mobilizing more schools. These schools in the royal parts of Boya, they should try as much as possible to bring those schools. Because how many students march from Munya? 8. That should be the problem. We should be asking why only 8 students from Munya. But you see the number from Sase. So if the other schools...
And another school in Moliko, a populated school that I know, very few of them.
You see that? So there are a lot of those cases that we should rather focus on them. That why would a big school like this send this very small number of students? That should be the focus. Why did the private universities, most of the private universities not match? I think that the government should focus on telling these private universities that this is a day that the government has decided that we should celebrate. On such a day, you should bring your students so that they should also march, because there were only very few private universities. The government should make an effort to ensure that all private universities send their students there to represent, because if it is a national day, it means that everybody should take part, and everybody, whether you're a private university or a public university or a private secondary school or a public secondary school, all of you fall within the
even community association. Then the yesteryears we had the Pom march. We hardly see them again.
Yes, so that is what those people at the delegation of youth affairs and civic education, they should focus on mobilizing the entire society, not rather faulting the students who are making the effort. They should go back and research what is happening, that all these community organizations that usually march during the national day, why aren't they marching again? Because the biggest march past we see now is from political parties. I was impressed with what the SDF showed. Yes, which shows that because that day there was a lot of discussion when the SDF was.
I mean, I was surprised.
There was a lot of noise. So I really appreciate the chairman of the chairman of the
not cutting you short. Let me just go to the chairman of the SDF, please. What are you people up to? Because the population on that day was it took everybody by surprise. What are you people up to?
You know, first and foremost, let me send this message to the public.
Yes, you have 1 minute to. Yes.
There are those who sit and say that the SDF has died and buried.
Okay.
I just want to tell them that the SDF is like Lazarus, who Jesus raised from death. In this Boya.
Okay. Lazarus has risen.
Yes.
And he has risen indeed.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we are going to make corrections in this Boya.
Okay.
Because the SDF is an institution which is well planted, well constituted institution.
Okay.
Irrespective of what I think you people saw what happened nationwide. Tiko, Kumba, Boya, Muyup, Douala, the SDF massively.
Okay, so what is cooking on the ground? Is it cooking for December or what
we are expecting municipal election on February.
Okay.
Because mandates of municipal councillors have been pushed right up to 28th of February, which elections might likely take place within that period.
Yes.
We are preparing.
Okay. And so you wanted to show that you're back.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, Chair, we have a minute each to conclude on this topic. What do you have to say?
Right, it's very important, and thank you once again. I think I'll conclude on that part by saying that a national day where maybe 30 secondary schools that to match, they each come up with their own style. It will become a dance festival. So we just now would need to go and sit in the stadium and watch the various dances perform. I think order is order. And if I don't even buy the match pass, if we want to match, we have to follow the order. Otherwise, we call it a festival and we come and dance with our traditional attires. That aside, I think it's very pathetic to see that we're talking about national unity and the same issues, it cut across the set. We saw the outburst. I think it's very pathetic, and it's to say how much more we need to cover in terms of national unity and national integration. It is something to weep for Cameroon if we've come to this extent that we don't have that sense of belonging. We don't have that sense of acceptance. Okay. I think it's something that we have to weep. We have to cry over. We have to go back to our communities, back to our homes, and we have to preach the gospel of national unity to our children. Okay. We have to tell them that when they go to school and they see someone, irrespective of where these persons come from, they are part of what we call Cameroon. They belong, and they have a right to belong in every community they find themselves. And thankfully, the Constitution gives that allowance to every Cameroonian, irrespective of, I think there's a period which you need to be settled in an area before you could contest for those elections. But all of those are previewed in the Constitution, even in the Electoral Code. Okay. We see all of those things. So I think we need to go back and embrace ourselves as Cameroonians, and we should also remind ourselves, what in essence do we want? Is it development we want, or our tribesmen? Those are the choices we have to make. Thank you.
Of course, that question has been asked, is it development we want or our tribesmen? And of course, we need development. At this time, let us have your last word on this topic.
So, I really want to appreciate the new panelists who came on the platform. At least he made us understand that they have deviated the purpose of the National Unity Day. And I'm shocked that the SDF have joined them to be deviating and celebrating. Everybody can give 1,000 or 2,000 to any student around to march. We saw Chiruma in this country being plebiscited all around the country. He had never had his party anywhere, but he won. What is the gambling about?
He did not win. No. Formally, what has been given us, we did not see him win.
Me, Mr. Bonjeto. I'm very serious. Driving my argument somewhere. What is the bragging about? Work. Educate people, tell them the truth.
Okay.
All what is happening is fake. Nothing is serious. And the journalist said it. He has listed everywhere. Adults are coming to defend their economic interests. There are stakeholders in. Oh, you want to see one person is renting chairs. You want to see the other person is giving the sound. That is what they are doing. The content itself is missing. Only two tribes in this country, the rich and the poor. That is what happened. You have money, where you have places where poor people cannot attend school. They cannot. Just school fees were eliminated. How many people have access to lights, pipe and water? That is from where you have quarters where you have people from a particular tribe. That is what's happening. Go around the town. So that is what we're supposed to be celebrating that day. That we started like this. This is where we are. But I want to tell you, the same format that was in 1960 is the same thing that's happening today. Politicians have taken hold of the whole environment. They have snatched it. What they do, they redistribute money to the few people who can comply, and those who have hold their bone that they can never sell their pride, they isolate them. You know, neo-colonialism is about isolating a nationalist, and that is what is happening. So we should not be taking pride because you lost election there. The very SDF you are clapping for, you will see it.
We have seen the nationwide 1%. The last election 1%. It's not my culture to be attacking.
Mr. Moderator. Mr. Moderator.
Yes, I'm thank you.
When you have the flood, that 50 seconds.
Mr. Moderator.
Give us a resume of their march pass, please.
What I'm trying to say is that you see Cameroonian, their silence should not be taken for stupidity.
Okay.
I'm telling you, at Chiruma, nobody, that's somebody who has worked for the government for 25 years. People hated him like hell. But overnight, instruction was given and Cameroonian voted who they wanted. Because the government wanted to frustrate Cameroonian by removing the lone Messiah that God sent.
Okay.
So,
okay, I'll come back to you.
I'm about to land. So,
okay.
To say it, when you see Cameroonian quiet like that, don't think that they don't know. You can go around, waste your small money that you have. Please, the BI regime that you are participating on the
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Yes, please, your last word on this topic.
I don't attack political parties.
Yeah.
We have a ideology. We follow our ideology.
Yes.
If you feel or you think that your party can win elections, thank God, go to the field and win the elections. You should not talk about or neither attacking individuals.
Okay.
I don't talk about persons. I talk about what I think I can deliver for the people.
The ideology of the party.
The ideology of the party. Because the party has a constitution. The party has its ideology from that constitution. We follow the ideology of the party. We don't attack persons. We don't attack political parties. What you can do, if you can deliver the goods from the public, you do it. That's for Cameroonians, for a better lifestyle.
Okay, what last word do you have for this topic? So that
for this topic, what I would say is about the 20th May celebration. For the issue of SASE, let me just give some little lights.
Okay.
I think as an institution, we'll talk about the National Day.
Yes.
There is a modality. There is a format that we have to follow.
Okay.
It is not a child's play. When we are coming for a march pass, and you remember I told you that I witnessed the 11th February, I was at the grandstand. They took over 20 minutes. That would have enabled other schools to pass. Maybe they would have gone and sheltered themselves somewhere.
Okay.
But rain fell on them severely, massively, and some of those children were collapsing. Jokes aside, when we are coming for a platform like this, we are not coming for child's place. We are coming to educate the public. If you have a political party with their political ideology, you teach people, you educate the population, you educate the public about your political ideology. It's not about attacking political parties, whatever they are doing or whatever they are not doing.
Okay.
So thank you.
Shin, your last word, and I'll give you more time.
Well, I just think that as far as the 20th May is concerned, I think that it's every day, especially for militants of the ruling party, who are always shouting, standing on rooftops and shouting about national unity, for them to really reflect. Because if we are talking about national unity as the government projects, we have to go beyond slogans and really go into applying it. We should not only end at the level of creating institutions or creating days that creating the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism when so there are a lot of things that national unity is beyond slogans. Is beyond people dressing in a particular way or people marching in a particular way. It's about the mission, how we want to identify ourselves as Cameroonians. If you see in any civilized country, if you see in the United States of America, you can be born in the state of New York and maybe you relocate to Florida. This is where you pay your taxes. And if you want to run as a governor there and you are able to mobilize and win, you become a governor, then nothing stops you. Or you want to become a senator, a congressperson, it's very easy. Nothing stops you. If you have the resources and you have the following and you can mobilize. So it's about what you can give. So I just think that this National Day, when we are commemorating it, we should reflect amongst ourselves as Cameroonians and really think that no, we should be thinking to the country and how we can move the country forward. And go beyond this thing of regional divide, tribalism. Because the day Cameroon will really become a united country will be the day that people stop considering themselves as people from the southwest, people from the littoral, or people from the Bayangi tribe, people from the Bamileke tribe, people from Bakwiri, Ewundo, Eton, all these tribes. The day we see ourselves first as Because the biggest challenge to national unity in Cameroon is because Cameroonians see themselves first as tribes people of a particular tribe, before seeing themselves as Cameroonians. They see themselves as people of a particular tribe, they see themselves as people of a particular region, then they see themselves now before they see themselves as Cameroonians.
But which should come first?
Yes, if we are supposed to start first and see ourselves as Cameroonians first.
No, I'm just asking which of this line of you've mentioned, which should come first?
The most important thing is that we are Cameroonians. When you see yourself first as a Cameroonian, I will not see Sirin Jomo and think that no, but this man is from this particular tribe.
Cameroonian first.
We have to see each other as Cameroonian first before every other thing, because the only thing that unites all of us is the fact that we are Cameroonian. We come from very diverse backgrounds. We are from different regions. We are from different tribes. We should know that Cameroon is a creation of the Europeans. And for us, the only way we can live with this creation of the Europeans is by us accepting, because we cannot change this one. Us being Cameroonians is something that will be impossible for us to change. So how can we, if we cannot change it, we have to embrace it and pride ourselves of it. Because if you go to all of these European countries, there are a group of tribes that came together and joined. Because if you look at the United Kingdom, you have the English there, you have the Scottish, you have the Welsh, you have the Irish. There are people that came together and joined. You go to Belgium, it's the same. You have the Wallon and this other and the Flemish. So in most of these countries, there are so many tribes. And even you go to the US is the worst because it's a melting point of a pot of culture. But the US is really succeeding. So I think that if we Cameroonians can adopt and see ourselves more as Cameroonians, like Americans see themselves. Because in the Americans, they are proud to identify as Americans. Yes, because even you see whether the person is black, whether the person is white, whether the person is brown, whether the person, whatever color, it doesn't matter. But the one thing that unites all of them, if all of see ourselves more as Cameroonians before seeing ourselves even as supporters of the CPDM, SDF, CRM, it will really help us a long way. So that even when we are competing as politicians of whatever party, we will not see the other opponent as an enemy, but we will just see that no, this is somebody who believes in something different from me. Yes. That this is somebody, this is not my enemy, but this is just a Cameroonian who sees things differently from me. Absolutely. If we begin to see things that way in a lot of ways, that is the day we'll start our journey to true unity in Cameroon. And so that when we are celebrating national unity, everybody will feel involved. If we are celebrating national unity, people don't need to be told that today is national unity. The people, everybody will feel, the environment will not be about the government telling us, because like the Pope said, unity or peace is something that cannot be imposed, cannot be decreed. It's something that people must evolve, must grow within people. And you see the celebration across the national territory. You see the turnout of opposition parties. What I just think that about opposition parties is that how Cameroonians were able to unite to defeat the CPDM in most urban areas in Cameroon. I think that the opposition, rather than focusing on fighting amongst themselves, if they are able to unite for the good of Cameroon, because if we look at what happened in Nigeria was able to transition as a multi-party democracy because the opposition were able to unite. I think that is an example that the opposition in Cameroon, if they can look at that example and copy it, rather than every day attacking themselves, in a lot Cameroonians demonstrated with the last presidential elections that they are hungry for a change. But is there somebody who is ready and available for them? That is what the opposition party should ask themselves. After celebrating this National Day, they should ask themselves, is it about my party or is it about Cameroonians? And if you answer it and your answer is that it is about Cameroonians, not about my party, not only about projecting my party, not only about projecting my interests, but the supreme interest of Cameroonians, that day, I think that there will be a lot of unity.
I always think when politicians actually want to teach politicians, listen, politics is not a merry-making
yes, we shall have a special program for all this. We shall have a special program for that, Jomo Siri. Let us go now to the second topic, where we should be talking of amidst effective decentralization, state takes over collection of council revenues. Recently, a few days ago, we saw the Minister of Decentralization, Local Development, and that of Finance met and decided that councils will no more be collecting their revenues, but the states will delegate people. So it has now been centralized. They will be collecting these revenues and send part of it to the councils. This decision, it is not now that it was taken, but the mayors appeal for some time so that they collect some of the monies that they had to collect before the state takes over. So it is not just prompt. So before we take this topic, dear viewers, let us get this report. After the report, then we get in total into the topic.
And Decentralization Minister Judges Elanga Obam signed a joint ministerial order recently. It enforces law number 20/020 of December 23, 2024 on local taxation. Minister Motaze says the 2026 budget marks a decisive stage in consolidation of effective transfer of fiscal revenue to local councils. He argues the Finance Minister Louis Paul Motaze and Decentralization Minister Judges Elanga Obam signed a joint ministerial order recently. It enforces law number 2024/020 of December 23, 2024 on local taxation. Minister Motaze says the 2026 budget marks a decisive stage in consolidation of effective transfer of fiscal revenue to. He argues the reform will substantially increase fiscal revenue and sustainably strengthen financial autonomy of councils. Under Article 13 of the joint order, officials and accounting officers of all 360 councils and 14 city councils of Cameroon are henceforth stripped of powers relating to the issuance and recovery of local taxes, duties, and municipal revenue. Effective control now shifts to state services, especially the Directorate General of Taxation. Councils are left with only local taxation monitoring units. Their role is to identify, transmit data to tax authorities, monitor collection performance, assist local taxation centers, and produce reports. Even creating these units now needs prior approval from the state representative. The reform is expected to hit several revenue streams hard, especially urban advertising, a key income source for city councils like Douala and Yaoundé. The new text casts doubt on agreements between councils and private contractors who collect advertising taxes, arrangements long criticized for lacking legal basis. Metaphorically, the state has taken the keys to the council safe and handed mayors a receipt book. Observers call this a significant re-centralization of local taxation. It comes amidst government assurances of effective decentralization. The move strengthens central government control over council finances, and it revives a critical question. If councils cannot collect the money they need to function, then what is left of their autonomy? The United Councils and Cities of Cameroon, UCCC, the Mayors Union, has not reacted yet, but in past sessions, mayors proposed a transitional period to allow councils collect their tax revenues directly. Revenue is not just money. It is authority. It is accountability. It is the difference between a mayor who acts and one who waits. If the state has the collectors, councils have the consents, citizens from the markets, toll gates, and the unbuilt roads have the consequences. There is not the signature on that reform. It is the transfer that follows it. I rest my case.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We are into the second topic tonight, and we are talking here on the decision that has been taken by the state that they will be collecting the revenues that councils were collecting. All the councils, even city councils. Shing, I want to begin with you. From the time you got this information, how do you feel? What was your reaction, and what do you have to say as at now?
Well, I think that generally the transference of this tax collection from local councils to the central services of the taxation is unfortunate, because in an era where we are preaching decentralization, it means we are rather supposed to empower local councils more. It means they are supposed to even give them a possibility of training their staff so that they are able to recover. If the government finds that there are loopholes in them collecting the revenue, they should rather empower them, not taking away that function from them. Because you cannot preach a decentralization with centralization. Because especially in conflict areas like the Northwest and the Southwest region. Because I remember when we went to cover the council session in Moyoka, the mayor was complaining there that in Moyoka that the taxation services are not even there, because the people who are working in that department from the central services in Yaoundé, they are not even based in, they are not even there. And we know that most of the councils in the Northwest and the Southwest region are in difficult areas, that these taxation officers will not be able to go down or go on the ground. And the best people who can collect the revenue there are the people who are based on the ground, who work with the council, who know these areas, who have grown up in this area and who master the areas better. That is they are better place to mobilize the revenue. And all right, if the government is recruiting people to send to these areas, to the different council areas, it means every subdivision in Cameroon is going to have such an establishment. That is increasing the cost of government, because this staff that will be sent, they will be recruited and paid. Then the staff who are already collecting revenue at the level of councils, they will become redundant. They will have no jobs, but they will still need to be paid, because most of them are already on the payroll of the councils. So it makes it very difficult, and it's a redundancy, because these councils, given the security situation in the Northwest and the Southwest, you think of the far north as well, it will make it impossible. Most of these councils now will not be able to execute any serious project, because it means that all the revenue for them to execute or to carry out whatever project must come from the national services. And when these new guys coming from the national taxation services, when they come to the ground, they don't understand the realities on the ground, because the realities in every council area is unique. And the municipal officials in that area know how to mobilize resources, know how to get resources, and the right people to touch. Because you see, most of the shops, if you imagine most of the shops in Boya, there are people who run their shops year round. And maybe by the time that the taxation services are supposed to come to the ground to collect a taxation revenue, these people, they might either hide some of their produce, some of their products. That is what happens. They might either hide them, or even they sell it and just allow an empty shop before you are going there. They will say that nothing. So in every likelihood, it will lead to a fall in the revenue of councils. What I thought the government could do was maybe they bring up platforms so that they are able to track at the national level every revenue that is coming in, every tax revenue that is collected by local councils. They should centralize and put a platform where maybe the tax officials in Yaoundé, or even at the level of Boya for the Southwest region, can monitor revenues from all councils, because every year we understand the government gives a certain budget to councils to support decentralization. But they should allow councils to be able to mobilize local revenue, because unfortunately with the advent of the Anglophone municipalities in the Northwest and the Southwest, the taxation officials cannot even go to the market to collect revenue. We know that it's just recently that even the taxation officials of the Boya Council have been able to freely move around and collect taxation revenue in the central market, Munya market, Boya. So, and if you imagine Boya being a relatively safe area in comparison to, maybe you think of a place like a Yumojok, you can think of places in Lebialem and other places in Jan, you'll see that will be very difficult. So I think that this is a decision that the government really needs to review, because it's like putting the cart before the horse.
But with what you have just said, with the government sending now people to the field to collect, going to areas that you have just mentioned, those suburbs, is it not more expenditure for them to start paying hotel bills and other expenses? Then by the time they collect the little they have to collect, is it not going to be so How do you size that?
Yes, it's just a blotting, increasing the expenses, because these people, maybe even they are not going there to rent hotels. These are people who are supposed to be working in that area. Yes, these are people. Yes, these are people who will be sent to those areas. And most of the people at times, I just think that at times they will send people who don't really master that area.
Good.
Yes, who don't master.
But don't you think that maybe the government might decide to use the council officials and maybe the taxation officials who have been doing it to shift them now into these ministries, then they start doing the work?
Well, if that were what they are going to do, it would be good, but I know that is not what they are going to do, because there are people who already work in the taxation department, whom the taxation department believes are experts. Those are the people who will be sent down. If it were actually the people who are already working there as tax collectors in the different councils, if these were the people that was introducing that, all right, this year we are going to take every tax collector, everybody working in the taxation department in the different councils, and we are going to train them for say 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, that we are going to train these people, because this is the result that we want. That these people, when they go back, these are the results that we want. If they are unable to train these people that way, because if they train the people and after maybe they will say that no, but the state spent resources to train these people because we wanted this result, and I say maybe after 5 or 3, 5, 4, 5 years we have not seen any results. That is why we are bringing in the National Taxation Services. It
is under the Directorate of Taxation. Now the councils were collecting. Do you see an opportunity now for the youths for more employments? Because now I'm not sure they will have enough tax collectors to send out to every council.
Well, everything that will create more opportunities, more job opportunities for young Cameroonians is welcome. But I think that the government, if the government is really thinking very much about young people and they want to create more job opportunities for them, it is not just focused on the public service. They should think of empowering private companies, because the best people who pay the best salaries in the world are private companies, and the private sector in Cameroon is choked, because if you run a private business in Cameroon and you don't support the regime, yes, you don't support the regime, you are not a CPDM militant, or you are not sympathetic to the CPDM party, the government can crumble your business. So I just think that that is one step that the government can do, allow the private sector to thrive. If the private sector was thriving in Cameroon, we will not be complaining every day about joblessness, because there are a lot of companies in Cameroon. When they come into Cameroon, the government doesn't enforce the law. If the government were to enforce the law, labor code in Cameroon, to ensure that if you are starting a company today, you must recruit young Cameroonians, you must pay them a living wage, you must pay them dignified wages, and make sure that you register them with the social insurance. These are a lot of things that if the government was enforcing and allowing the private sector to thrive, I think that we will not be complaining about the joblessness, because the public sector can never integrate everybody, can never recruit everybody. Even when they start with this thing, who are those who are going to be recruited? Maybe only people, children of people who are already in the system, because they will recommend that, yes, I heard that you are recruiting this. They will even bring somebody who studied maybe history as a tax collector. That is what obtains here, because most often if I am a powerful individual within the tax collection system, yes, Directorate General of Taxation, and I have a cousin, or I have a sibling, or I have a son who studied maybe English language or history, I will tell them that no, all right, yes, recruit this person. That is what obtains in Cameroon.
Maybe they will be trained.
If they are to be trained, there are people who are already doing that thing that can be trained to do that job. But if they want to recruit young Cameroonians, they should recruit people who are fully qualified, who can do this job. Because at the end of the day, no matter whoever they are recruiting, if they are recruiting people who are qualified, I don't have any problem.
Mr. Moderator, from the explanation of Mr. Shin, it shows that he doesn't master how the state is organized. There's nobody they are recruiting anywhere. There are two systems.
No, I just asked a question for him to
give me
react.
chance, but I wasted time for talking about it that will not exist. Excuse me, let me tell you how it works.
It is not.
There are two lineages of government. There's a centralized organ and there's a decentralized organ.
Yes.
So they have moved from the decentralized organ and back to the centralized organ. That's all. There's nobody that are recruiting anywhere. So you are wasting our time for nothing now.
No.
This is our argument.
It is not.
You have wasted 10 minutes.
It's not him mastering the government.
So what were we talking about?
I asked him the question, he was reacting to.
You don't talk about things that does not exist.
No, please.
So now,
go on.
From the constitutional point of view,
yes,
if we were having a functional constitutional council,
yes,
this is the first task they should do. They should attack this decision, because 1996
It's 30 years now that the decentralized law
was instituted.
Yes. And it only saw its application in 2019. A few years after, they are dragging us back. So if we had a real constitutional council, they will have called and attacked the law. But unfortunately, it is the same system. Secondly, on the democratic principle, they appoint the director of taxation. It's Mr. Biawa appointing.
Absolutely.
So it is again the administrative arm of the government that is going to be above the will of the people. Meanwhile, the people are the constituent of the country. That means mayors represent but the people because they are directly appointed by the people. So that democratic power has been seized.
Completely.
The third angle, the economic angle. Imagine you just get married and they say your family allowance is going to be handled by your parent-in-law, your father-in-law. That's exactly what has just happened. Meaning that since the Biya regime saw that they lose the presidential election, Ichiruma, and I'm coming.
No, please, they did not lose.
And they are anticipating.
The documents we have shows that CPDM.
Distraction, Mr. Moderator. Let's go back to what we are talking.
No, it's not distraction. So, we have to be very formal
so
here.
We are saying that they are anticipating that the next election, the ravage will be too much.
Okay.
So they want to make sure that the mayors that are going to enter into office will not manage anything.
Yes.
And the last angle where they are punishing the people is at the level of corruption. But corruption is an element, is a managerial system for eternalized power. It's because of corruption. You saw the action of making governor chief, that's corruption. So that is how they rule us with corruption.
How is it a corruption when they give some title to somebody?
Those chiefs like that, they have money, they have money them. It's too money.
No.
They went to Yaoundé. Excuse me, 2 months. They were arguing 3 million that they could not divide among them. So what are you talking about now? Are we children?
Well, you are talking of the title that you said.
No.
That be corruption?
Why should they give him a title at this point when the Anglophone crisis is not over?
Why should they give others at the point they gave?
Who have taken titles?
So many people have having titles.
Who? So I want to say that we are talking about corruption. That's where I want to land.
Yes.
So the fourth element of my argument is at the level of corruption. They say that they want to fight for corruption. But we want to say that if they had brought an electronic system, for example, our ID card, they put an electronic magnet there, that people pay their card through that one, we say, okay, we'll be yielding them. But hand to hand, in Cameroon.
It is another way of enriching particular.
Okay, let me come to you, Obasi. What do you see with that text?
Please, I will not take side. I'm a political analyst.
Yes.
I have 2 things I want to make. I want to say. The first thing is a pro-government view, and the second is the civil society critics like our brother here have been criticizing the government. The first is pro-government view. Council have failed to collect revenue transparency. Leakage, ghost workers, and harassment of traders are rampant. Centralizing collection using digital system reduce corruption and ensures everyone pays the same rate. The money still goes back to the Council for Development. Why? Because the government has seen that this council, for a certain period, they were unable to manage the decentralized power that was given to them, especially economically, taking of.
But we see councils, some councils very vibrant, developing every day, and if we could take Fako,
when I was saying ensures pay, that is what I was saying, centralizing collection using digital system.
Okay.
So now I'll take example with a trader in Munya market, which maybe he or she selling maybe shoe, and the time there's a due time he has to pay maybe his part-time, and that period he does not have. The council come and put hit, bam, put it in French, Sele. That means you are no more. What comes of that? Now, what of those that they are able to pay? When they pay, are they assured that it goes directly to the state treasury for development? So that is why the government takes it back, so that to make sure that there is what they call a digital payment.
Where have you seen it?
So now
that's why the ministry, the two ministries, the Ministry of Decentralization and the Ministry of Economy, which is being led by
decentralization
and finance, yes, which are being led by ministers, they have come together to see that they are going to.
Are you saying that the process will be
everything will be digitalized?
We are still to get that. We are still together.
That is why they took it. That is why they took it.
Okay.
So that
now, if you say they took it because they want some effectiveness, yes, with records we have that since decentralization. Now they are supposed to, if I'm not forgetting, they are supposed to send 15% to councils, but we have hardly had the 15%. What assurance that maybe if the state collects, they will send back the 90% that they have to send?
That is why I was saying about digitalization.
Are you proposing the digitalization, or you are assuring that it has to be?
What has to be in effect?
What has to be?
A fully effective of decentralization came in 2019. So it is a process that the President of the Republic is taking with his cabinet.
The question I ask is, since decentralization, councils have been complaining that the 15% by law that is supposed to be sent to councils, they have not been seen. Because if you look at with research, I think 2025, it was supposed to be about 600 billion, but only about 600 billion.
600 billion.
Yes,
it was 600 billion.
Yes, it's just about 300 billion that came.
Yeah.
So now, if councils have been complaining, what assurance is there that if the state collects now,
their revenue,
they will send back the 90% they are supposed to send, because the state has to take 10%?
Obviously.
What assurance is there as of now?
Now, that is why we have, I was like saying, I have two things to talk about. The civil society critics.
Okay.
I want everybody should understand that 90% it comes from these civil society critics. This kills decentralization in practice, if you don't know. If council don't control their money, they are just branches of the Ministry of Finance. Please let me finish. Delay remainement means projects stall.
Good.
Citizens can't sanction local leaders because they don't see the link between what they pay and what they get. 90%. I'm trying to tell the people that if the government collect this revenue from the central government, they let the leaders, as I was saying, let the leaders should be assured.
Yes.
Because they are already assured. Because the government wants to make everything now digitalized so that things can go well for all councils.
Okay, I'll be back to you. Let me get to you, Efokwa John. Since you got this, how have you been feeling?
Yeah, let me, before now, I'm aware about what is going to happen, what was about to happen. Because I've been attending council sections.
Yes.
And, this system of this present regime of Mr. Bia is like a man who sells the goat and ties and holds the rope. That is what they operate. That's the way they operate. I've been able to attend where even mayors disgruntled, councillors disgruntled, because this thing has been ongoing for over a year now.
Yes.
Before it has come to endorsement and up to the point of going into effective, they have deliberated it. And that is why we are talking about a federal system of government is the best. Now, you seize powers from mayors, because if the central government, which happens to be the Yaoundé government, had to collect the council revenue, which means they have already taken the powers of mayors and councillors. What is remaining for them to do is to appoint the mayors, without even us going for elections.
Totally.
Because the mayors are answerable to the population in that constituency, in that municipality. They're supposed to make sure that they deliver the goods. They give the public what they need. Now, I want to tell you this, because my brother there is talking about digitalizing whatever. I want to tell you that in Boya, I will quote you an example within the Boya municipality. Last council section which I attended, I was invited by the mayor. When we got there, and this issue of the central government trying to powers mayors, that they had to start collecting council revenue. And it was said that the Boya council budget was 2.9 billion of last year and presently this year. The same budget of last year, it is the same budget of this year. Now, Boya council was able to collect 1,400,000,000, and 1 billion francs went to Yaoundé central government, which they were expecting that the Yaoundé central government was supposed to collect 10% and send 900,000 francs, 900 million back to the Boya council. What happened? They sent 8 million francs from the 900 million. Go to your records. If you ever have attended the council session, or most probably the last one,
go on. Yeah.
they collect what the Boya council was able to receive from the central government. It was 8 million, not
800 million.
8 million, not 800 million.
The council
I give you facts and figure. I give you facts and figure. Now, we are saying that this is a very bad system. Can the central government be able to tell us from the day the decentralization, which was 1996, and which became ineffective in 2019, can they tell us? Can they give us a balance sheet of from what they have collected from all the councils?
Now,
I am talking.
Now you have to know that
I am
we
talking.
have a structure that is called FECOM.
And FECOM has been existing before you even talking about the decentralization. FECOM has been.
FECOM does not have a mission to collect taxes.
Mr. Moderator.
So what are you talking about?
The CPDM system is a bad system.
It's not a bad system.
It is. I am saying something. It is a bad system because this is another way. This is another way. I am talking.
No.
We are Mr. Moderator. This is another system. This is another way of embezzling our taxpayers.
Don't you think that individuals are heading these structures, not the party?
It is the CPDM
people who are
heading. They are appointed.
You need to know that there are some councils that they are on.
No, we don't have time anymore. We don't have time.
Those councils have been existing and they have been managing their resources before now, before the effective of decentralization. They have been managing. I want to give you an example. Mokake Ndeli won the election in 1996 when he became the mayor under the SDF. And since he was a mayor mandated by the people here in Boya, an opposition mayor, he did not receive subvention from the government. All the project he executed here in Boya was the taxpayers' money for the people.
Because by them,
I want to tell you this. Boy, lot of projects. By then I don't know how were you. I don't know how were you. But I am talking as somebody who has been in politics, and I am talking as somebody who was a born and bred bona fide member of the Boya child. I am talking on the project that was executed by Mokake Ndeli at the time. All those projects was the taxpayers' money, the money that he was collecting from markets, stores, that he was able to construct or carry on projects in Boya municipality. Now again, Mr. Moderator,
yes,
the population should be able to understand this, that the mayors who are answerable to them, they are no longer answerable to them any longer, because what they are in the government remains to do. This issue of even us going to elections has become like you know, you just go for election, you want to become a mayor, it's just for you know, I call it for
if you follow the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Decentralization, it shows like this mayor have hardly been accountable. It's like there has been a lot of mismanagement and embezzlement and so
that is why for us to have credible people to manage municipalities, there should be commissions to see how, when money comes in, how they manage it. There should be the auditors where there will be accountability.
Okay.
Where there will be accountability.
Okay.
But again, if you have to seize their rights, their powers to collect revenue, to manage and to maybe construct small bridges, it is Yaoundé that have to say that no, you have to construct a bridge here. You take maybe 5 million or 10 million to construct a bridge. I will tell you that this government of Mr. Bia and his people is a bad government, and I stand here.
No, at least it is made up of human beings, so they cannot be perfect.
They are bad.
No, we can't say
it is not about perfection. It's not about perfection.
We can't say they are bad.
They are bad.
At least
Cameroonians are no longer enjoying what they're supposed to enjoy because of a group of people who have decided to catch this country for their selfish interests.
Let me get to you.
A group of people have decided to catch this country for their selfish interests.
Let me get a contribution at this time.
It's been an enriching discussion, I must say. Decentralization, I think everyone needs to understand, is Cameroon is a unitary decentralized state. It means decentralization is the bedrock on which the state is built. It means decentralization is not a choice.
Okay.
It is the foundation of the state, and anything that touches decentralization, you are touching the very foundation on which this present republic is built on. Like it or not, what the two ministers have just signed that is the integrity
of the people.
Because it has, money is power. When we're talking about power, we're talking about money. That's why the state, why is this? Because the state is the owner of all the resources. If you don't have money, you don't have power. There's some quick questions that have gone through my mind when I first of all saw. The next question is, what is the use of NASLA, the National School of Local Administration? We were advancing, and there was the saying that decentralization was being fully realized, and then one morning we discovered that we start going back. People refer to it as the Bafia dance: go before, go back. One step in front, 5 steps behind. Because we're about training local administrators that were to go and man councils. It means we built a school that was to upgrade the.
We're sort of competent administrators.
Of course, we're bringing in competence into local administration, and then when competence is being brought in, you say no. It should not be managed by the council. It goes back to Yaoundé. So at the end of the day, what is NASLA? Why billions of Cameroonians' money? Why is it being invested in a failed project? If Yaoundé is to take care of collecting revenue and all of that, it means NASLA should also close, because it is Cameroonians' money being wasted. That school runs on a lot of billions. That's just one of the questions. The next question is, why are the mayors silent? The mayors are silent because majority of mayors across over
366.
Most of them are of the ruling party. The question now is, if you talk, you would. You
have told the party line. You have told the party line.
Yeah, you'll be caught up with party discipline, and you would not be reinvested in February elections. If at all the elections finally hold, you'll not be reinvested. And there is your friend sitting next to you who is hoping that you should talk, so that your chances dwindle for him to take over. Because we've seen the mayors. It's not like they are not complaining. We know these things. They are complaining, but they cannot just come out and make it very clear. I think the district chairman agreed, because I've actually, it's no secret.
Yes,
the Boya Council, just like Tico mayors, they've raised this issue. The money which was collected and the money which they received, the difference is like day and night. The difference is saddening. And then you ask the question, after you take this money, where does the money go to? The law of this new law says the redistribution is based on solidarity,
that is it,
harmonization of development, and they say reduction of inequalities. True, that's part of national unity if we should go by it. But now we must also build municipalities. We must also build how sustainable is this law we are advancing. It is true that some municipalities have opportunities over others, but I think every municipality in Cameroon is able to raise resources if we are able to manage councils as businesses. We must, if we're able to manage you may not have oil like Indian, but there is something you have. So how can we manage this? How can we transform this and build better local economies?
Even the city councils, which we have 14 city councils in the whole republic, they too had to pay all their revenue, but in the central government.
Okay.
It is not only limited for maybe rural councils or whatever.
Now, it's like they want to talk of redistribution, equal redistribution when they collect this money. Now, I want to know from you politicians, is it the council money that has to develop, that is the council money that has to develop other council, or the state taxation modalities that are put to raise funds to develop the country?
Listen, moderator, if there were people who were supposed to be really mad with this last decision, it's the Northwest and the Southwest.
Yeah. Dear viewers, it's unfortunate that maybe at times when we invite people, the stakeholders, they refuse coming. So we just have to do with the people who have here.
Because of the special status.
Yes.
Because when you say, is it the local council to create development opportunities within their constituency, or is the state to allocate funds for them? It means that it's not listening to Mr. Shanwa.
No, I mean like creating funds to develop the county in other areas. Because now they are talking of equal redistribution. It is the
development of local council, the aggregate of it, that gives a developed country. We are on a horizon of 2035.
Yes.
And we have failed the road project. Another one came up, that SDG 2030. It's still on the way to fail. What is happening is that local mayor, local council, the voice of the people, reduce it almost to zero. Cameroon is gradually moving to a highly presidential system, but they will keep using the unity decentralized system for paperwork, to be signing money and project abroad. But what is being practiced? They want to silence the voice of the people. First, these elected officials that are in power now, their mandate has been prorogated. And you know, when your landlord adds maybe 3 months to your tenant, and he says, and he come and off light when you are reading, you can only make you become mumu. You cannot talk because you know he has extended your term of office. Same thing has been done to parliamentarian. All that in the watchful eyes of the people. The real question we should be asking ourselves: people who cannot stand for their right, do they really deserve that they should cry for them? Because everything is happening like that, and the people are there. That's why you see, when people go and celebrate a day like that, and they want to come, instead of just consolidating for the fact that they did some I want to say cultural activity, they want to make it look as if they are better than others.
Legitimacy and legality.
I ask myself that, truly, are you understanding on which foot we are dancing with this system?
Okay.
Because I will not even sit here and be talking about the mayor, because they are benefiting from the.
Okay, we are out of time. Maybe you're sharing your last words. We shall come back to this topic any other time. Your last words, please.
Well, I think that what we should understand is that decentralization in Cameroon has been in existence since 1996. But this issue of reverting the collection of local taxes back to the central government, it's a follow-up of the 2024 finance law.
Yeah.
So we should understand that is the context within which. So I heard somebody saying that no, it's that the president just signed. I don't like the law, but at least we have to agree that yes, it was passed by the parliament. That is the more reason why, like I said earlier, that the opposition parties have to really unite, because if we are frustrated with what is happening, what is the reply? What can be our reply? Can only be our ballot. And the ballots by a Cameroonian, the ballots of Cameroonians can be best used when there is a united front. If there is a united front by the opposition.
Moderator, I will not sit here and non-politicians talk about united front. It's not possible. We voted out Pobia in this country. What did the people do? We voted out Pobia in this country in September. What did the people do? So you cannot be talking about united front. It's not possible. The opposition will infiltrate the
system will infiltrate the opposition.
Mr.
When we should save time.
Mr. Cyril, you are very arrogant. Because
no, 10 seconds, yes.
When he's speaking here, nobody interrupts him. When he started speaking the other time,
he
said that I did not master what I was saying. He's very arrogant. We are here to educate Cameroonians. No, I just have to make this.
Yeah, just go on.
Because the point I'm making here is that if we really feel angry, if we feel that this law is not okay, how can the only way we can solve this is when the opposition is able to unite. He can decide and stay on the flanks. The opposition did not win the last presidential election.
We won
his candidate.
You see, because his candidate finally he has unveiled himself. You win his candidate.
This is where we come to the end of today's program. See you next time. Thank you very much.
To recognize the victory of the people.
Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters, and now we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now, and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.